Great. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Ask Me Anything by Fourth Rev on the London School of Economics event. So I'm very, very excited to host this session. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Great. So to get started, I'm going to introduce myself as Danny. I'm one of the student success managers here at Fourth Rev, supporting on the London School of Economics Data Analytics Career Accelerator, and I've been on this program for over 3.5 years now. In that time, I've had the privilege of guiding hundreds of learners through their journeys, celebrating the wins, helping to navigate the challenges, and making sure everyone feels supported along the way. In my role, I focus on learner success and experience, from time management strategies and motivational boosts to troubleshooting common blockers and challenges. I also work closely with our facilitators and career coaches and the broader team to make sure learners are on the right track, have great support and the resources to thrive on the program. So I'm very excited, as I said, for today's AMA, because there's a chance to hear directly from a past learner, Jip, who also supported on the program, and he will be answering some questions that will give you some great insight to what you can expect. Before we get started, I just want to ask if you have any questions for Jip, you can pop them in the chat box and we'll get through them if you've got any questions during the initial session as we go through the Q&A. And then you're also welcome through the AMA, you're also welcome to just post your remarks. The recording will be made available to you after this event. And if you have any questions with regards to enrollment related questions, such as joining the program and so forth, we do have Josh, who will be on the call. I'll do an introduction to him towards the end of the session, and he will be able to answer your questions. You can pop them in the chat box, and you can also ask at the end of the session. So thank you very much. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to get into it. So I'm going to ask Jip on our call today, one of our past learners, to please do a bit of an introduction, and then we can get started. So Jip, over to you.
Cool. Thank you, Danny. Well, hello, everyone, and thanks for joining this Ask Me Anything. I'm super excited to share some of my experiences with you and let you know my thoughts on this course and what I've learned and taken out from it. I'm originally Dutch, born and bred in the Netherlands. Jip, a very Dutch name, but I moved to Cape Town, South Africa when I was about 12 years old, did my high school there, and then came back here to the Netherlands for my university. I have currently been with Adidas, the shoes and sports company, for around 2 years, and in that time I've also had the chance to hone my skills in data analytics, and that's what brought me to this career accelerator. In my spare time I love sports, Muay Thai, field hockey, calisthenics, running, but I also like to learn, and that's what brought me to this career program in the first place.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jip, for your introduction. Lovely. I love the Muay Thai. I'm into boxing myself, so really nice to connect with that. Might chat to you about that after.
Yeah, so, we can have a sparring session.
Oh, that sounds amazing. You mentioned that you that's how you got into data analytics. So how did you find out about this specific career accelerator, and what would you say made you decide that the time you signed up was the right time to invest in building your skills?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I mean, for me, it was always quite clear that I really enjoyed problem solving and finding ways to enhance processes and just change the ways of working. And that's what brought me to data in the first place. During my internship, I worked in a role which is called product launch and optimization. So we make sure that all of Adidas's products go live on marketplaces across Europe. So you can think of Zalando and ASOS and JD. But yeah, I felt like there was something missing, and that's what that I didn't have the fundamental skills to really show that I can do this. And for that, I needed to have these data analytics skills, and that's what brought me to this program. And yeah, I think when it comes to whether it was the right time or not, that's always a bit of a tricky question, because I'm sure, like all of us, we have 1,000 things going on and a lot of stuff that we want to do at the same time. But I thought if I don't do it now, then I might not ever do it. And I just decided to commit to it, and yeah, I didn't really look back, to be honest.
Amazing. So thank you for that. I'm so glad you did sign up on the program and it's supported you in your role. What would you say has been your greatest challenge on the program? Can you share like
Yeah,
maybe a moment you've been really proud of as well?
sure. I mean, it's obviously clear that this program is quite dense and there's a lot of content to cover. So that's natural that it then takes a lot of time away from you, especially if you are working full time or part time, or you have a project that you want to work on. It's quite hard to find that balance between what you're doing and then this course as well. So for me, that was quite a big challenge. I spent quite a lot of weekends glued behind the laptop screen. Not that I minded it, but yeah, sometimes it was a bit much. Yeah, to kind of overcome with this challenge, I thought to myself, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff to cover, but if I keep thinking about it, I'm never gonna do it. So yeah, I just in the morning, maybe on a Saturday, I just grabbed a cup of coffee. I had a nice breakfast, chilled a little bit, and then I thought, okay, now it's time to start working. And yeah, I opened my laptop and just went through all the content. So it's the same as like putting on for running, for example. It's normally quite difficult to get started. It's like putting on the running shoes that is really the tricky part, and sometimes that's even trickier than doing the actual run itself. So um, yeah, to overcome that challenge, it's best to just not think about it too much and just open the laptop and get going, you know? So yeah, I think to answer your second question, what I'm most proud of, it's definitely wrapping up the employer project at the end. So this is the fourth module. And in this, you work together with a group of fellow students. So maybe people that are on the school with you today. And yeah, I just remember after all the things we did together and gathering the feedback, adjusting according to yeah, the things we were taught. We wrapped up the presentation and with a super good feeling. So we jumped in a group call and we celebrated together, and it just felt so nice, you know, because you wrap it up together with people that have yeah experienced the same stuff as you. So they've also spent weekends behind the laptop, and yeah, that was quite a satisfying moment, to be honest.
Oh, great. Thanks for sharing. So you're talking about the employer project at the end. So you're the first three courses, you're obviously working through the content and you're kind of doing solo projects. But at the end, there's the group work project.
Yeah.
And that was very rewarding for you. And I love that because I love also seeing, I believe you guys, I remember you guys posted on LinkedIn as well, kind of shared your celebration. So it's lovely to hear you actually had a meetup to celebrate that. That's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, are you still in contact with some of the learners you work with?
I mean, we do have, so it's quite funny because obviously with this program being online, a lot of people are scattered in different parts of the world. Myself, I'm in Amsterdam. There was a couple people across the UK, but also people in the UAE. So we unfortunately never met up physically, but we've had a lot of, you know, like late night calls together and also joked around a little bit. So yeah, we do have contact with each other still. So it's quite fun. It's yeah, you get a lot of out of it. So yeah.
Amazing. So glad you're able to stay in touch and network. So I want to ask you, how practical did you find the learning? Like, and how did it prepare you for kind of real world challenges?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you work with data or you wish to work with data, there is stuff that you will get out of this course for sure. Also, maybe stuff that interests you more than others. So, for example, I prefer data automation and workflows over visualization, but you also learn how to build dashboards with Tableau or how to use SQL, that kind of stuff. So, because this program covers a lot of different fundamentals, there is something you will get out of it. And the skill is then to take what you have learned and identify areas in your day-to-day work where you can apply it to, or maybe a project that you've been thinking about. Because obviously, as long as there is data involved, you can use Python for everything, or Tableau, or SQL, whatever you want. So it's really, yeah, I think, yeah, you learn a lot from it. You can get a lot out of it, and even just understanding where to start with something. When I first did Python, so I also did a course before this. I did a bit of Python, but I never really understood what is the use, like what can you really get out of it. But now I really do understand it, and there's also projects that I'm working on within the company, within Adidas, that I'm taking these learnings from and applying them to. So yeah.
Amazing. So thanks. I hear that you've done a previous program, and then you still did the London School of Business Economics, LSE Data Analytics, Career Accelerator. So is there any, would you say, unique features on this program that set it apart from that other course or other learning options that you considered?
For sure. I think, as I mentioned already, the broad fundamentals that you get out of this. So not only Python, but also SQL and Tableau and whatever, and RStudio, and even learning how to web scrape, stuff like that. It's, you really go through so much that there is something you will get out of it that another course doesn't have. And then specifically, this employer project was very new to me because with data, I'm a bit of an Einzelgänger, so like a lone wolf. I like to do my own thing and not really get disturbed too much, because if I have an idea, then I think I want to be the one to execute it. But obviously, that's not always valid, and eventually, when you move up in a company or you work, you are not able to do everything. So to learn how to work as a group is something that was very unique to me, and I think that's also one of the best qualities of this program, is that you learn how to work as a team on a data-oriented project. So yeah, I think that's what sets it apart quite well.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. So you're speaking about your work that you were doing at Adidas, and then this program as a part-time program. How did you manage doing that? How did you manage to kind of juggle the study time and your work at Adidas and other commitments?
Yeah, that's I think this is also what ties in with the biggest challenge. So obviously, time is not always your best friend, because you only have a certain amount of hours in a day, and you have a lot of things that you have to tackle. So I mean, you do have to sacrifice a little bit. I spoke to my manager about it, and eventually I told her I don't want to take time out of my day-to-day work to work on this program. So I still worked the full week, and then I did this on the side, but they were at least aware of what I was doing. So I mean, if on a Friday afternoon I had some downtime, I would be working on this program, but there's always ways you can tie this into your day-to-day. So I think if you really prioritize what's important, and yeah, also see where you can put this project into your day to day, then it shouldn't be an issue. Because yeah, I think if you break down all the things in your day, you will find time where you can allocate it to this program. And of course, I mean, for me, fitness and a social life are also important. So I still had time to go outside, get fresh air, and have a beer with my friends, or go to the movies with my girlfriend. There's so much. It's not like when you sign up to a program like this that your whole world will flip around. But if you don't, if you kind of wait until the last moment, of course you're going to be like, oh wow, this is so much.
Yeah.
But for me, I didn't even work on Monday to Friday. I normally didn't spend too much time on this program. It was really on the weekend where I was like, okay, it's time to sit down. Let's do this for 6 hours or 5 hours, sometimes more. But let's just get it done. And I think, yeah, you'll find it very manageable, especially if you go through all the content, because there are little stepping stones towards the final project.
Great, thank you for sharing that. You were speaking a bit about your structure in terms of the balancing, and it's so lovely to hear that you felt you were able to balance all of the different balls that you were juggling. How did you find the structure support for your learning? Did you feel that the program structure was set up in a way that supported you? It sounds like it. And did you find a lot of support from the success managers? Well, that would be me and the career coaches. But yeah, don't be biased. You can freely say how you felt.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm not saying this because you're in the call, but the support system can only be described as excellent. I think you guys are always on standby, ready to answer questions. And for me, what was really useful is the app. So there was this app where you could post your questions. I think it was called Circle.
Yes.
So you also see what your other learners are struggling with or what they're thinking about, and then you have your success manager jumping in saying, "Hey, I will have a look at this, or you should look at it like this." But there was just so much, I think, transparency involved with everything that, and accountability. So yeah, everyone was just there to support each other, and also not only did you have your success managers or your career coaches, but you also have your fellow students. So what we did is we also had a WhatsApp group, and we spoke about the program there. So if I had a question about, hey, how do I do this, then they would answer, and yeah, you can spar with each other in that way, you know. So I think there are a lot of different streams of support that this program offers, and Circle is by far, I think, the nicest app to use. And you'll find a lot of the questions that you have are also questions asked by other learners, and yeah, you'll get an answer quickly from the team. So from Danny and the rest, yeah, it's really nice.
That's really great. Thanks for pointing that out. The facilitators are able to help on the student community. We use Circle, and they're able to answer technical questions, and then we as a success team can support with that. So thanks for highlighting that. I'm so pleased to hear that you felt very supported and you knew we were always in your corner. So it sounds like you felt you had quite a connection with the fellow learners, being on a WhatsApp group outside of Circle as well. And you're still in touch. It sounds like the community has supported your growth. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was quite unfortunate, or it is quite unfortunate that I'm based in Amsterdam, because most of the learners are UK based, which makes sense because LSE is an English university. But what was really nice to see was these fellow students. They would plan their get together. They would go out on a Friday to have food and some drinks, or just go to data events together and just explore what's out there, because you'll meet a lot of people that they want to get the same out of this program as you. So I think that was really nice about this program. And yeah, I wish I could have joined the event at the end, or yeah, some of those events in between. But no, I think yeah, there's a lot of team spirit involved with this program.
Amazing. I love that. Thank you so much for speaking a bit about the support. I want to jump into asking you how you found how the program supported you to achieve your career goals and take steps towards advancing at Adidas. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I am still quite new to the world of business. I am relatively young. I graduated around 1 year ago, actually, from my bachelor's. So sometimes walking around Adidas, I have a bit of an imposter syndrome. I think, what am I doing here? These people are talking about numbers that I can't fathom, and yeah, it really gives you a bit of perspective. But what this program really gave me, which was quite interesting, is the confidence to be more bold, because you realize that even though people have been doing business a certain way for such a long time, there are always areas of improvement and ways to shake things up. And I think the way that a team works now doesn't have to be the way that they keep on working. And that's what this program really showed me, is that you shouldn't be afraid to come up with areas that can be improved, and pitch those ideas to the senior leaders or whatever. And yeah, I've now been given quite a few long-term projects that are pretty advanced and require a lot of strategic work, also with other teams, so with tech and yeah, sales. And I think that's due to the confidence that I've been given from this career accelerator.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. In these long-term projects or the other work that you do, have you been able to apply what you learned to solve real-world projects like product launches or your sales optimization or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, I've built a whole Python script on kind of how we work. So we work in a few different systems, and there is a lot of layers that this product data flows through, and it can be a bit manual, but I said, hey guys, I think we should do it this way, and then I explained why we should do it this way and what the impact is of if we do it this way. And yeah, I've been given the green light to go ahead on that. So obviously you work with very heavy data sets, and Python is not always the best for that, but at least you have, I mean, you can get a lot out of it. So yeah, this program really helped with that.
Amazing. I love how you also mentioned, thanks for sharing that. And I love how you also mentioned that it built your confidence. Do you find that it's made you want to pursue new opportunities, not necessarily career related, but just in general, as it, how's it impacted your confidence in your workplace and outside the workplace, do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I am a bit of a, I wouldn't say nerd, but I really like to play around and build stuff with data. So I've been doing a few projects on the side, and um, yeah, I have some ideas of my own project that I want to build, and I will start doing that in a few months. But I think again, what this program really teaches you is that their data is not just ones and zeros. It's not black and white. It's not yes, no. There's a lot you can do with it, and you can really shape it in a certain way. And yeah, it can be quite magical actually. So without this program, I wouldn't have been taught that, and I would have, I think, put limits on what I believe was actually capable. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'd love to see some of what you're doing if you feel like sharing some time. Do you feel that the impact of having a LSE certificate has influenced your career progression?
I mean, yeah, when I tell my colleagues that I did stuff, I did a program at the LSE, they're like, wow, no way, it's such a prestigious university. So in that sense, it helps a lot. I have not yet gone through an interview process after having this certificate, so I'm not sure how it will play into that, but I mean, I would definitely use it as a card to have up my sleeve, like look what I did and what I can bring to and add value to your team. So I think there's definitely benefit of it. And also actually, yeah, people have been reaching out to me on LinkedIn and saying, hey, we see you've been doing this, and based on your professional and academic background, I think you'd be a good fit. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that this certificate brings quite some value.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Awesome. I love how your colleagues pass over it. So that's fantastic. And I'm sure it will support you when you do reach that stage. So I'd like to ask you what advice you would give someone who's maybe unsure about committing to a program like this. I'm sure you found yourself there at some point. So yeah, what advice would you give?
I think I would start by asking myself what you're unsure about. Like, what is it of this program that makes you think, oh, maybe it's not for me? Is it the time commitment, or is it financial commitment, or is it whether you don't believe analytics is the right field for you, or whether you won't get anything out of it? And yeah, I would go for a nice long walk and think about it. Like it's up to each individual to decide whether this is the right program for you. I mean, for myself, I've taken a lot out of this, but I've also been quite fortunate to already be at a big organization, and that might not always be the same for other people. So I think it really depends on who you are and what you want to get out of it. I think for myself, yeah, there hasn't been a moment where I was like, oh, this was not worth it, you know? So yeah, I would take some time and weigh out the pros and the cons. And I think if time is the issue, then I would think again, because it's definitely worth it in the long term. Yeah.
Great. And so who would you recommend this program to and why?
Okay. I mean, I would recommend this to anyone who wishes to shake things up in the world. So I think if you want to learn how to use data and use it to your advantage, or how to change up the ways your organization works, then this is something that will totally help you. I would also recommend this to those who are looking to learn new skills and are ready to take on a new fulfilling challenge, and also those who want to master data and how to work with it. I think this program is here for a lot of people, and what I got out of it might not be what you get out of it, but you will definitely come out of it as a stronger and more knowledgeable individual.
Amazing. Great. Thank you so much. And do you feel that the program is accommodating for people that have, because you did mention you had a bit of Python experience, but do you feel that it could support learners that have little or no previous experience in data analytics?
Totally. I mean, you start off the program learning about Microsoft Excel. So you really learn about what data is, what the different types are, how to read each type of data, and you really you start at the very first stepping stone, and week by week you kind of grow into an individual that understands it. Obviously, if you skip through the course material and focus only on the last assignment, you'll be like, wow, what is this? But if you just go through the content and take it one lesson at a time, then it shouldn't be an issue, because yeah, it's very beginner friendly. But also to those who already have some experience, I think what would be nice for those people is to really add more to everything, you know, because if the project guideline says, hey, you should do XYZ, but you think I can do XYZ and ABC, then you should go for it, because you will get rewarded if you add some unique approach to every assignment and yeah, freestyle a little bit. I think that's the fun thing. You can really mold the project to be how you like it, you know.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I have one final question for you. So reflecting on your overall journey, on this whole journey on your program, what would you say is your top reason for recommending the LSE Data Analytics Accelerator to anyone that's thinking about it?
The top reason, it would be, for me, just to challenge yourself. I think for me it was really like, what do I want to get out of this, and will I want to work in analytics? But I think if you challenge yourself and you really push the boundaries on your projects and yeah, your assignments, I think you will get a lot out of this that is very valuable and also transferable to any kind of role. It doesn't have to be in retail or sales. It can be in healthcare. It can be anywhere you can think of, really. Data is used for, and that's the cool thing about this. So I mean, just because I work at a sports brand doesn't mean I will work here forever. Maybe I'll go to aviation or something else, you know. Like, there's a lot out of there that you can do with data, and that's the cool thing.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so very much. Thank you for your time and for all your feedback and insights that you've shared with us today. It was really nice just hearing your overall reflective feedback on the session now that you've completed it and you are happy in your role with all the insights you've learned. So thank you very, very much for joining us today. Yep. And I'm now going to thank you. So I'm now going to hand over to Josh, who's going to be able to answer any questions you might have on the enrollment process or anything else. And we'll get to the questions in the chat box in a bit. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Danny.
Yep.
Really insightful. And yeah, really appreciate your time joining us today. Yep. So, team, we still got plenty of time for a lot of Q&A questions. So please keep shooting them through. I can see they're coming through thick and fast. There is a upvoting system as well. So you can put a thumbs up on any of the questions that you like the sound of as well, so we can prioritize those. But we're going to do our best to get through all of these questions in a few moments. I did, and a reminder, please put them in the Q&A function, not the live chat. I want to just give a very brief summary, I guess, from our perspective about what the Career Accelerator is. I know that you've heard great insights already, but just to further summarize for you before we jump back into any questions. And from our perspective, the Data Analytics Career Accelerator has been designed to help you stand out with the technical data analysis skills and the problem-solving competencies desired by top employers. So whether you're at the beginning of your career and you're looking to enter data analytics for the first time, or you're looking to shift career and pivot into data analytics, or importantly, you might already be using data analytics to some extent, and can see the importance of further developing your skills for advancement, this is the program that can be the catalyst to help you achieve those outcomes. We're very geared and solely geared really towards helping each individual achieve their unique career outcomes. That's where we see the success and the reward in the program. It's not just about seeing you complete the 4 projects. We want to see you, and we stick with you all the way through to achieving your intended career outcomes. How do we do that? There's a few kind of unique selling points, I guess. Firstly, if we think about the design of the content, it's a really powerful combination of the technical, the business, and the human skills that will meet workplace demand. That's unique in the sense that the creation of the content has been by the LSE, led by the LSE, so a top 30 university in the world, in collaboration with industry. So that's Tableau and GitHub. As an example of some of our larger partners that collaborated on the design of the content to make sure that it is practical and industry relevant. The outcomes of that and how you can showcase then the skills and the projects that you complete is through a digital portfolio of evidence. So that allows you to showcase, storytell, visualize the skills, the projects, the experiences you have in the program. And it's a really powerful, effective way to differentiate yourself from other candidates that you may be competing with, be that internally at your current organization or elsewhere. Alongside that, you've got executive style one-to-one career coaching. So they'll give you the confidence and the direction and empower you with the skills and tools you need to be self-sufficient to achieve your unique career outcome. And importantly, that's all accompanied by a certificate of completion from the LSE. Now, QS University rankings, which are one of the largest in the world, have LSE's global employer reputation ranking at 99.4% for 2025. So in essence, what does that mean? That means that employers and industry view people that have had the opportunity to study at the LSE in really high regard. So you still get the critical thinking, the problem solving skills that's synonymous with an LSE program, but making sure that it's very much aligned with industry as well. Let's jump into the questions. And once we get through those, I can fill in any additional gaps as well. So let's have a look, see if anyone's been upvoting. Otherwise, I'm just going to start from the top. All right, first question for you. So I'm starting from zero or no data analytics experience. Can this course help me break into this competitive field? What would you say to that in your experience?
I mean, I think the only way you would be able to break into this a competitive field is by starting. So this course is perfect if you have no experience. And as I mentioned earlier, you will start with very foundational stuff. So learning what data is, what different kinds of data, how people collect data. And then you go through more practical activities in Microsoft Excel, and then you move on to different stuff like Python and you'll be surprised by how quickly you can catch on to something like this, even if you have zero experience. Whether any other courses are useful, I'm sure there's other useful courses out there, but I don't have experience with other courses. So I would say if you're looking for a full package, then this is something you should consider.
Yeah, I mean, in many of my conversations with potential candidates and students that have started, I mean, you can look at other courses if you're trying to determine shorter course, if you're trying to determine if data analytics is even relevant for you of interest. But if you are confident that, okay, this is the pathway I'm looking to go down, and now what is the program that's going to help me have the most meaningful impact, then that's what the Career Accelerator is designed for. It's designed to help you have that meaningful impact on your career and have that change over the 6-month period. We do have some entry criteria as well. So just noting there's a range of ways you can gain entry. Pathway 1 is through having at least a bachelor's degree with 1 quantitative units of study, so anything to do with numbers. If you don't have that, we can look at 3 years, at least 3 years of professional experience. We've been dealing with data to some extent. What we recommend there would be Excel and maybe some exposure to pivot tables as a good starting point. And if you don't have either of those, there's a 30-minute aptitude test that you can complete. So 30 multiple choice questions over 30 minutes. If you get 50% or above, you're deemed eligible as well. So try to make it as accessible as possible. And to add to your point, yeah, I always think it's not necessarily about am I capable of doing this or not. I mean, you speak to your enrollment advisor and we'll be truthful about if your background and you meet criteria, you could meet criteria. But if you are, it's about making sure that you have the time to dedicate, to give yourself the best opportunity to complete. So many students will come in with a bit of imposter syndrome and doubting if you can do it. And it's just important to make sure that you can also dedicate that time consistently, which will give you the best opportunity to complete.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything you would suggest to the course organizers that could or should change to enhance the experience for candidates?
Yeah, this is a very, very, very good question, I think, because as we all know, the field of data and analytics is evolving constantly, and tools that are useful yesterday are no longer useful anymore. So, yeah, I think the course organizers should definitely, and as they do, they should stay up to speed with the latest trends and developments in the field of analytics. What I do think would be quite fun to enhance the experience is to give the students more data to work with in certain projects, and also because every employer project or every final project comes with a bit of a template. I would also encourage the course facilitators to think of yeah, I mean, not like a black and white approach to everything, but to give a bit more of a final thing that you should be working towards, but also give you the flexibility to go to this point in your own way and using your own ways of thinking. So yeah.
Yep. And one of those first points that you mentioned there about keeping relevant and making sure that the content is relevant. So it's a challenge for most programs. We do best with it. An example is the AI masterclass, which the masterclasses that you spoke about, which is something that wasn't originally a part of the Career Accelerator. We implemented them, I believe, in 2024, I'd say, as a part to keep up with what's happening in AI. And instead of looking at trying to incorporate AI directly into the content, of which would be quite time consuming, and by the time that we actually implement that, it's probably outdated. So instead, we host masterclasses that are more around kind of industry trends, what's currently happening and relevant. And so those masterclasses continue to change depending on when you have enrolled in the program as well. So that's a good example of where we're trying to make sure that we're keeping it up to speed with the pace of change. Now, Livia's got a question here just around an employer project. I don't know how much detail you went into it before, but if you've got any more insights or you can talk a little bit more about the project.
Sure. I mean, the employer project is at the very end of the program. So it's in after 4.5 months when you have like very strong foundational skills. You'll be given 6 weeks to work on a real life problem. Before starting, you will be given a survey, if I recall correctly, based on your interests. So, for example, I put consumer goods because that's closest to what I'm currently doing, but you can also work in finance, or there's different avenues. And then based on that, you'll be assigned to an employer project, so a real company, and you'll be given a problem to focus on. So what my I focused on something very niche actually. It was the forecasting of ice cube sales in Spain. So something I've never thought about doing ever, but something that's very relevant and also super interesting to see like the different factors that work on sales and trends. And it's not just the temperature. You'll be surprised with some of the findings you get out of such a program. So yeah, I think if that program or if this company will still exist in the next batch of employer projects, it will be a very fun problem to solve. And it's also quite cool how you can paint the findings in a way that comes from just a few data sets, you know. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
It sure does. And I mean, we've got many examples as well. Like that was a great example there, but for any of you that haven't spoken to an enrolling advisor, book a time. We're just there to have a chat and we can give you some other examples. I did see internally today some just to give you some further insights into the types of organizations that we work with. I mean, the project partners rotate depending on availability, but for our most recent cohort, Bank of England has been one of our project partners, VP Analytics, who are data consultancy and finance as well, and Doctors Without Borders, who's in healthcare and international aid. So you can see through those three project partners, great variance as well, and all really exciting. Alex asked about your use of the one-to-one career coaching. Did you use it? Yes, you did, but what did it add to your approach in finding a suitable role once you completed the Career Accelerator?
Yeah, I think once again, this is a very, very good question. And the career coaching is very useful no matter where you are. So I was already employed, but I still got a lot out of this career coaching. My sessions were mainly focused on how I can grow and elevate into a more strategic role rather than operational. But you also have, I think, a few people had career coaching sessions where they just go over your basic stuff, so your CV and how to build the right profile, how to brand yourself. So you can actually get quite a lot out of this this career coaching. It really depends on what is of interest to you. So Alex, if you have a session with your career coach and you say, hey, this is what I want to build or what I want to work towards, then that's what you can make your session about. You know, you really own it, and it's up to you to steer the conversation, and the career coach will just guide you along the way. When it comes to finding a suitable role, I'm still in the same team since before this program as now, but as I mentioned earlier, it's definitely given me more autonomy to lead on advanced automation projects.
Yeah, and as you said, preparing you for that next step as well in your career as well. Everyone has goals. It's not always as simple as I want to get a job in data analytics. So yeah, it can be helping you with CV prep. It can be helping you with networking capabilities, branding, but it can also help in terms of better performance in your current role, working on leadership skills. There's a whole range of ways, but the
Yeah.
benefit is really personalized. One of the things that we've implemented since you did study with us, and for those of you that have had a look on the brochure, but I guess it's an added layer that ties into our desire to make sure as many people achieve their intended career outcomes, is the career milestone guarantee, which you can all see on the brochure. But it's 12 months of one-to-one coaching. And if within these 12 months you haven't achieved your goal, so securing a new role or a promotion or getting paid consultation, we'll extend your one-to-one coaching for up to an additional 6 months. So it's potentially 18 months of career support to make sure you achieve your intended goals. And we're incredibly confident that you'd achieve that within a far shorter time than that as well. Cool. Moving on. You've spoken about this a little bit already, but you had a great kind of conversation with Danny, but the success managers, how did they support you throughout the program?
I mean, the success manager, as I mentioned, they are on standby for any of your problems. You'll be surprised. Sometimes I think I saw Danny replying at like 10 in the evening, which is, as someone in the Netherlands, we don't work beyond 5 o'clock. So seeing that was like, wow, okay. So I think the career coach would really help you when it comes to elevating yourself, and the success managers are more ensuring that anything related to the program will be carried out successfully. So yeah, if you have a problem, or if something is not working, or you just want to rethink your approach to the assignment, then you can definitely sit down with the success manager and they can help you. So yeah.
Yeah, it's important as well. Whilst the program's fully online, as you know, there's lots of opportunities. We make sure that you feel supported. You've got the support mechanisms. You can engage with your peers via circles, but the main thing is to not suffer in silence. That's where the success manager comes in. So if you need to have a conversation about anything, they're your point of contact. If it's anything purely academic, you've got your course facilitators, but lean into the support and utilize it so that we can help you as best as possible. What tools are needed to start this course? Like, what is included in the cost? I'll answer this. Everything's included in the program fees. You just need to have access to Microsoft Excel. Everything else is provided to you. And obviously have a suitable laptop and that sort of thing that's going to be able to manage. Again, you can talk to your EA about that. Imran, would you say that the 20 hours a week commitment is a minimum? What is the least one can get away with, would you say? I don't mean this in an apprehensive way, but more to understand the level and depth of commitment on the student side and what to expect and manage effectively.
Once again, I think this is a good question, and I think it is quite difficult to pinpoint exactly how much time you need to go through each week. For example, what took me a bit less time to complete might take someone else more time. And for myself, I managed to be below 20 hours almost every week. There was a few weeks where I just had to sit down and understand the code better. But yeah, when it comes to the least one can get away with, I think it really depends on your knowledge and yeah, just how much you collect. Like when you go through the program and the courses, like how much information you retain and how you can apply it to the assignments. That's going to help you a lot with saving time. And I mean, I think for the majority of the people, I think 20 hours is indeed a good middle ground. Like some will finish the below 20 hours a week, but others will finish above. So it really depends on how you work and what your approach is on a weekly basis.
Yeah. And look, I'll always be consistent from an enrollments perspective. On average, 20 hours. It's difficult to gauge what exactly every person will do, but 20 hours is a good expectation as a starting point. And once you get in there, it takes a little while to adjust and incorporate the study into your routine, and then you learn your tips and tricks how to potentially save time and study as effectively as possible. So John asks, are all the sessions online and how many people are in the cohort? So I'll answer this one. Yes, there's no requirement to be anywhere physically. There's been instances where learners who are in the same location catch up for study groups and that sort of thing, but that's informal. There's absolutely no requirement. All engagement is online. And cohorts can range from anywhere between 100 to 180 at this stage. Yeah, that's what you'd be looking at in terms of cohort sizes. Predominantly, majority are based in the UK or Europe, with a far smaller portion in other areas of the world, be that Southeast Asia or the Middle East. Vast majority are in the UK and Europe. Have you been able to incorporate AI into your role along with the new skills and experience you gained from this program?
Definitely. So if this course teaches you the fundamentals, then I think with that and a knowledge of how you can use AI to your advantage, you'll be quite lethal, to be honest, in the field of analytics. So yes, I have been using AI alongside what I've been taught in this course to really. I've been working on a few projects on my own, like my own website portfolio and those kinds of things. And for that, I used AI, and it was still like understanding how the code works and what the logic is, and then saying, hey, ChatGPT, help me out with this, or it's not working properly, and then pinpointing where the issue lies, and then trying to understand my flow and not make it the next time, you know. So you can definitely synergize this quite well with AI.
Great. Now we've got 7 minutes left. I'm really conscious of the time that you've given to us. I'm really appreciative, but want to try and stick as close to our finish time. We've got 10 to 12 questions. Let's see how many we can get through in a bit of a speed round here. Let's have a look. How did you find the balance between theory and practical application in the program? I'll give you context. We tend to say that it's 2/3 practical, 1/3 theoretical backing and underpinning. Does that kind of align with your experience?
I think so, because when you go through the course content, you'll learn, and that's your theory. So you'll watch videos from people, industry leading data analysts, and how they use analytics. And then at the end, you'll be given your assignment. So you'll be given your problem, where you just go through everything that you've been taught. And I think that 2/3 balance is quite spot on.
Great. Another question from an anonymous attendee. I'm in my late 50s. Are there older people joining this course? Quick context, yes, there are, certainly. We, again, want to enroll people in the program that are going to see benefit from. So everyone's circumstances are different. If you've got concerns, book a time with the EA and we can talk about what your goals are and if they're realistic and achievable. But you can also look on our YouTube. Elodie Hudson, she moved across from a teacher at the age of around 50, 51. She has had 2 or 3 job promotions since completing the program. Her story's all over our YouTube, and she's an assistant course facilitator now in the program as well. So she's giving back to learners too. So yes, we've got examples of learners in their 50s seeing great outcomes. I can see you're nodding your head as well. So you definitely would have engaged with some of those individuals.
Yeah, I think it's quite cool to see, because you interact with so many different people, and you'll realize that age is not even spoken about, because everyone is just interested in data and solving the problem. So it doesn't really matter what age you are. It's yeah, if you are interested, then that the age shouldn't stop you, for sure. That's
Sure, exactly. but book time with your EA. We're always happy to be there and be honest and understand what you want to achieve. John asks, how accessible did you find help when you felt stuck on a problem or concept? I mean, we've spoken a fair bit about the student success and the coaches, but what about the course facilitators and the academic support?
Yeah, I mean, so these course facilitators, they also have access to a circle, so they can you can also post your questions directly to them. You can sometimes take screenshots of your error message and your lines of codes, and they will help you if you're stuck. What I also did myself was, if I was really stuck, I just put it in AI, if I can be transparent, and yeah, you'll realize that the problem is sometimes your approach, and then you understand how you can work around it.
Right. I mean, it's a big part of the reason, right, is a lot of people that we speak with have attempted completely self-paced learning with data analytics, and it's quite challenging. So having more of a structured learning approach and academic support is a key feature of the program.
Totally.
In which industry have people from your cohort worked in since graduating? I guess I'll answer this. It's any industry you can really imagine. Even it seems like the employer projects that we get out, like you'd be hard pressed to find an industry where data analysis and the need for people with this skill set isn't found. So again, it's going to be really dependent on your background. If you're wanting to stay in the same field you're in, or you're looking to expand elsewhere. I mean, data is as broad as it comes in terms of industries. Don't know if there's anything else you'd like to add to that.
Yeah, like I mentioned, you can really go any direction with analytics, from governmental roles, aviation to sales. So yeah, the sky's the limit.
Yep. Yeah, sure is. We're nearly there, which is good. Did you have any struggles with the employer project specifically?
For us, the biggest struggle was because obviously you work in a group and everyone has different commitments. So it was finding that middle ground. We ended up going for a bit of yeah, trust approach. So kind of, okay, this is what you're supposed to do for the week. We'll regroup on this day. So make sure you have your stuff prepared by then. And that was the only thing I can think of. But to be honest, there wasn't really a struggle. Everyone pulled their weight and was accountable. So yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, it's all part of being in a team dynamic, right? Whether
Yeah.
it's on this program or in the workplace, you're going to deal with those things, and the intention is to replicate that. So yeah, good to hear. John asks again, did you notice, or another John, there might be multiple, did you notice yourself applying program concepts in your current job or daily life while studying?
Yeah, totally, I did. Like I mentioned, I'm now automating a whole work stream within the EU marketplace landscape, and that's partially or mainly due to the things I've learned in this career accelerator, because it really teaches you what is possible, and yeah, you can really apply it to whatever you want.
Two more and then we're done. So Omar asks, can someone become a data engineer after completing this course? From my perspective and understanding of people that have achieved outcomes, it is viable that you can study this and become a data engineer, but it's all dependent on potentially what your background is.
Yeah.
It may be that you do data analytics, or it might be that you need to do data science. We can facilitate either of those. It's really dependent on your circumstances. But we have had people land data engineering roles as a part of completing this program. It would warrant a bit of a conversation just to understand your background a bit more. And then finally, I saw a question, Sam, I believe you answered it, but there was a question just around applications closing and what the date is. So October 27th is the next start date. We encourage that you apply at the latest by the 20th. But just to give you all context, this is the busiest intake of the year. I was looking on Friday last week, and we've had 3 times the amount of applications to placements remaining. And so the majority of those applicants have not spoken to an enrollment advisor yet. We can't approve anyone until they speak to an enrollment advisor. So the way you can skip the queue is book a time with an EA if you haven't already. We have the conversation first to determine if it's the right fit, and then we can help you streamline and fast track your application to skip the queue that's sitting there. So placements are filling quickly. There's a lot of demand, but there is a way to kind of speed up that process if you book a time with your enrollment advisor. So please do it. We've got a team ready and waiting to help you. We're pretty much bang on time. Again, thanks so much for the hour. It's been really, really insightful. Any final words before we let you go?
I mean, if you end up making this decision and you decide to go for it, I hope you enjoy it, because it is very fun actually, and you get a lot out of it. So yeah, also feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have any questions or anything like that. You can shape this program how you will, and as I mentioned earlier, the sky is the limit with data analytics. Don't limit yourself just because you think it's a scary black box mystical thing, because it really isn't. You start from the very beginning and you work your way up, and yeah, you'll be surprised with the support you get from the people around you. So it's a really good program, and I seriously consider you to, if you want to go for it, you know. So yeah,
Yeah,
good luck.
great. Yeah, thank you so much. And I've done a few of these, and the key difference, right, in people that are posting the questions in the Q&A as opposed to being the guests here, is that you took that first step. You took the leap of faith and you took the action, and it's always been consistent with a lot of our guests that speak about just take that first step, and you won't regret it. So yeah, really looking forward to having conversations with you all moving forward, and thanks again for your time.
Of course. Good luck,
Cheers.
everyone, and stay in touch. All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye now.